What's up, guys? How are you all doing? Hey, would you guys love to see how to put a brain, an abnormal brain, into a jar and give it a solar-powered LED to illuminate it? Hey, if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, check it out because it is coming up right here, right now on this very spooky misperry. Okay, guys, so what we got is we've got one of these jars here. I got one of these lids that's basically a solar cell, and it has some LEDs attached to it, but we're going to remove those LEDs. It comes with a ring. It even has a waterproof seal on it, but we're going to remove these LEDs, and we'll put kind of our own in there. So first off, we're going to take it apart, so that way we can get to the circuit board that's inside. Once apart, we see the little circuit board. There's all those LEDs are basically just soldered to a couple of pads. So we're just gonna use a quick soldering iron, desolder both of those real fast. So get that off of there. All right, and so we will just discard those LEDs it came with. Now, next thing we got to do is I'm going to put this up here and I'm going to kind of clean this up a little bit, so we can get some solder wick out and kind of clean up those pads a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our super bright white LEDs, linked down in the description, and I'm going to tin both the leads on this. This one was very short because it was actually out of a flashlight that I had done for another project. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tin those, and we're going to solder some wires on. So we'll solder a ground wire on, and then we'll get the positive wire right after that. So, like I said, you can pick these up. I'll put a link down in the description where to get some of these fairly bright LEDs. I put one. You could probably put more, but you know, it's kind of up to you. However you want to put it in there. It can support up to, I think, 9 milliamps is what the solar cell puts out. So we should be good with this one. So we're gonna get that on there, and we'll shrink wrap those up and make that look all nice and neat. So we'll get that. Hopefully my hand will be steady here. Get that on there. There we are. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to go ahead and put the board back into the plastic case that it's on. So we'll get the screw started here, and then we'll screw that down. And then what we'll probably end up doing is we will feed the LED through the hole that was there and just mount it basically in the top. So see the hole right there. What we're going to do is we're going to take that LED. I left some really long wires on it because I just used some out of a kind of a grab bag, and it makes it easier to push things around. So that came out the wrong side. Let's try that again here and get that through the back. There we go. And get that coming through the back, because what we'll end up doing is cutting these to fit, and then we will bend them over and resolder them back onto those pads that we took the original strand off of. So I'm making the bends right now, kind of separating out the wires. So there we go. So now I've got them cut and stripped. So now we'll go ahead and solder them on to the circuit board here. So as you can see, the colored one, the yellow, is actually the positive for this particular board that I'm doing. The yellow is basically the positive side, and then the negative side is on the other. And you can see that by noting the black wire, and you can see that trace that's basically the negative. So you want the anode to go where I'm soldering right now, and then the cathode to go to the other side. So we'll go ahead and put a dab of solder on that cathode right fast. So get that blobbed up. Been using this little electric soldering iron that's wireless, which is actually a pretty good little soldering iron. So I've actually been kind of impressed with it. So it melts the solder and does its thing. Okay, so now once we have that finished, all we got to do is put it back together. So we're going to reinsert the battery in there, which I thought was interesting. It's a nickel metal hydride battery, which is known for memory effect. As you can see, it works. It's Vux. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. They're nickel metal hydride batteries because they're kind of memory. They have the memory effect, which I thought was interesting. So, but anyway, especially with the solar cell. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. May change that out in a later video for LiPo or something. So let's go ahead and we will reinstall our screws, put this thing right back together, So that way now we have our super bright white LED, excuse me, that is going to be our light source. Now, I don't expect a ton of light to get down through everything, just because we're going to have a giant brain in the jar, but I think that's some of it too. It'll have that kind of spooky illumination as well, because it's not going to be super bright. So it ought to be fairly ominous. We'll check that out here at the end of the video. So let's get the last screw in, and voila, it lights up. And the solar cell on the top. I'll clean that up. All right, so now we can assemble this onto our glass jar. And we will get that going so we can turn it on. And there we go. So that should be the way that it should be. You can set this outside. It should recharge with the sunlight. It's actually holds its charge quite well. Like I said, for a nickel metal hydride battery, it's quite interesting. All right, guys. So for the font, I have picked out the Scary Halloween font. I'll put a link down in the description for our patient name. And what I did was I went ahead, I'll just show it to you, is I made just a funny little deal. Found a picture of an infection, danger symbol, and then put some stuff on there. I'll probably post this. I did this with GIMP, so I'll post the GIMP thing down, or maybe on download site of some sort. Anyway, I'll get it to you. So if you want to use this exact label. Now, what I did was I have an actual label maker. So I've got one of these Dymo label makers is what I used. So I just basically exported it as a PNG, and then I imported it in and built even through like a barcode, just some random barcode on it, just so it could be barcoded. Now I had to scoot everything up because this label is actually longer than the jar that I was using. So I scooted it up a little bit, and then I just used a pair of scissors and cut the bottom of the label off. So I'll provide that label for you guys and whatnot, so that way you can download it if you want to use this, or if you want to, I'll put the GIMP XCF file up there, so that way if you want to alter it in any way, you totally can. So let's go ahead and get to the bench, and let's try to shove it into the jar. Be right back. All right, guys, we're back and we're ready to put this thing all together. I even have my gloves on. It's like doing surgery. Brain surgery. All right, so what I've done is I went ahead and made a label. I thought this was fantastic. I found some stuff on the internet and whatnot, and then I took actually my daughter's paints stuff and stuck my thumb and my forefinger in the red paint and made kind of like fingerprints across the bottle. Hopefully you guys can see that here. That probably looks better. Anyway, so put that on there because I thought that was just awesome. And then, of course, we've got to have Abby Normal. And it's got to be the Frankenstein Hospital. Anyway, all right, so now I got to figure out how to get this inside there, as well as I got to goop it up. So, to goop it up, let's move that off the side. To goop this up, we've got the theatrical spray blood. And then we've also got the theatrical tube goop-a-doop blood. So we got to figure out what these are. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this open. Get this out of here. There's one. Oh, sorry. My kids are watching me do this because they think this is fantastic. So if you hear anything in the background, that's who it is. They're standing here watching me. So let's get this one open. All right. So this one looks like pretty much a can of like mace. So we'll see what this can do. Here, can you grab me, give me a paper towel? Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna see what this can do. We're gonna test this out first. So let's see what happens. Ooh, well, it's definitely red. It's definitely red. Ooh, it looks like. Oh. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. We may coat the inside of the bottle with it. Hey, while we're testing stuff out, let's open this up and get this goop out and see what happens. Okay, so it's got some sort of a little thing here. Get that off of there. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. See if this is gonna be real nice and goopy. Ooh! Ooh, that's really goopy. I don't know if you guys saw that. Here, I'm gonna try to spread it out so you guys can see it. That stuff's really goopy. I figured it'd be thicker. Figured this stuff would be thicker. Maybe I can shake it up. We'll shake the crud out of it. All right. Oh, it's dripping. It's dripping. That looks That looks pretty real, actually. Well, this is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Here, you want to grab the trash can? All right. My daughter get the trash can for me because this might get gooey. All right, so we're going to take the lid off. Oh, and by the way, this is waterproof, which is nice. So you can set this outside and not worry about waterproofing problems. I just noticed, I think the glass is cracked in this. Oh, well, doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to jam this in here. I'm going to go ahead and... Ooh. This is actually kind of fun to spray around in here. Yeah. Yeah, does it look good? Yeah, it looks good. Alright, squirt a little more. Oh, it's so nasty. Is this stuff? Ooh, it stinks. I'm guessing this stuff is non-toxic, but I'm not sure. I guess we'll smear this up a little bit. Here, I need another paper towel. I'm going to set this on top of, like, a paper towel. Because this could get really gooey. Alright. It already has, like, painted on goo, but we're going to add a little more to it just to make it goopier. So we're going to kind of smear that around on there. There we go. And make it pretty ooky. It's going to be ooky dooky. Looks like I look like Scream. Okay, yeah, that over there. All right, try to jam this in here now. Oh, here, but it's on camera so you guys can see me doing this. It's going. It's squishable. Oh, God. Oh, ooh, that stuff stinks. It's kind of smelly. Oh, get in there. Oh, I got it. Ooh, I think it might actually fit. Ooh, I don't know. The brain stem's a little long. I don't know. It may hit against our stuff. Okay, I need a paper towel. Thank you. Wipe this off. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. Okay, let me wipe myself because this is very gooey. We may spray a little more later. But, all right. Oh, yeah, and I got the top of the label all goopy. That's fantastic. That's exactly what I want. Okay, now let's see if I can actually get this on. Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. And we'll turn on the power here in a little bit. Let me get this mess over with here. All right. I think you want to throw this in the trash. Careful, it's gooey, so hold it by the top. Nope, there's a big goo spot right there. Hold on. Okay. All right. So there we are. So there it is. It's all ooky and gooey. Ooh, that actually looks really good. I love it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and turn the light on, and we'll move the camera, and we'll see what it looks like in the dark, okay? So give me just a second. All right, I'm playing around with my camera settings, so here's in my like low light mode. Ooh. Yeah, Abby normal. Oh, it's so gross looking. Is that? I'm gonna try it in a different setting, just a second. Here is yet another mode. So I think it looks pretty good, and there's all the little blood spatters and whatnot off of it. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I think that came out pretty good. And then we could probably shake it up and get the blood everywhere inside. That came out pretty good. All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me on this fun adventure of sticking a brain into a jar and creating a solar-powered light for it. Hope you guys enjoyed this build. Hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. Halloween's one of my favorite times of the year because it's just fun to make weird and creepy stuff like this. I just find it interesting. So guys, make sure and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos that I'll be creating. Got a bunch in the pipeline. I know I keep saying that. Takes me some time to get to them all, but anyway, have a fun and safe and thrilling Halloween. Guys, that ought to do it. Take care. We'll see you next time.